Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies, and my name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and I'd like to welcome you all back to another Whips, Bits and Chat. This is number 62. Right, so because I've got a wedding prep to do, this is only going to be a short sharp one, a bit like last week. Fingers crossed I can get it to about 15 to 20 minutes. We'll have to guess and hope for the best. Right, first thing up today is our video roundup. So of course this week it was a little bit lapsed. Apologies there. I got so carried away with a pattern test that I'm doing at the moment that I didn't know what day it was and I forgot to make Monday's video. Oops, I'm so bad. I'm so sorry, but don't panic. You'll get that at another point. So first video for this week was actually one of our lives. It was Tuesday lives. So of course on Tuesday now I'm trying my hardest to do an AM for everybody that's on the opposite side of the world whose evening it is, or if they're able to get in and visit us at silly o'clock in the morning their time, they can. And then of course I have the evening live as well for the same reasons. If you can get in to see us, pop in. If you can't, don't worry, play catch up. But basically with both of this week's lives there is also a competition on those, so I'm giving you the extra week to get your answers written in the description box underneath those videos. Right, next video up was Big and Little Crochet Creative Crochet Book Collection. Now of course that is a video number 3 out of a set of 8. So remember, you can't actually get hold of these at the moment. I think the press has stopped due to COVID. Fingers crossed they'll be able to bring it back and then we will be able to get them. At the moment I've had a quick nose, I couldn't find any links that worked yet. Right, so if there's any patterns in this book set that you absolutely adore and fall in love with, say, and I will have a run, hunt around and see if I can find something similar, okay? Or if you decide to have a hunt around and find something similar and you find something similar, please pop it in the description box. That way I'll transfer it over to the drop down box so every other crazy can have a nose as well. Right, so if there's anything in those videos you really like, keep an eye out for the little I button up here, which you can click to go through to those videos, or wait till the end when the main menu comes up and normally there's an opportunity to choose something off of that, or the drop down box is normally where I would put those video links. Right, so what have I been up to this week? Right, well, to start off with this week I've been having a go at the poppies. I have got 30 made and bagged, but I'm not going to bother showing you those until next week, when hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have another box of 60 ready to go. Okay, so that's the main one. Those are the poppies. Next one up is we've got this wedding to go to this week, so we're travelling down Friday, staying over, coming back Sunday. Now the problem is the boys, bless them, they all wanted to go out on a stag do. Right, so there was a group of about 15 that wanted to go out on this stag do, but of course Boris has kept the roadmap as it is for now, and we're being released hopefully from whatever stage lockdown we're in. We'll get released later on next month or early next month, and because of this it means the boys' stag do has been affected, whether they want to or not. If they, so it meant that they couldn't really go clubbing unless they'd pre-booked it, and the only place that had availability for them was a local strip joint. Stag do strip joint, hey, why not? It's the last chance, isn't it? So of course they were going to get charged 30 quid a head to get into this strip joint, and 20 quid of that goes on drinks, right? So it's not so bad, but they were unable to book the groom a lap dance. Actually, to be honest, there was going to be no boobies on show at all. Imagine if the boys were going to, say, Hooters in America and there's no topless workers. it's the same scenario. So of course the boys were like, well, why bother going up? We can't really go out clubbing because of this, and the strip joint, we're getting charged 30 quid still to go in, and there's no strippers. So they were feeling a little bit down. So I said to him, don't worry about it, boys. So I've got this one sorted. And my husband's like, what are you banging on about? Now, if any of you get easily offended, turn away and wait until the beeping sound comes up on here, because I will put a beep on or some sort of weird random noise so that you can look back and you know you're safe. Okay? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I made booby key rings with standy out nipples. That's right, booby key rings. I thought, well, crikey, if the boys can't actually touch boobies, crochet bond's got to be better than nothing in it. So I've made about 6 of them, and I'm taking those down with me, and I'll hand them out to the stag and his close party before they head off and try and work out where they're going. I think they've found somewhere now, but I don't know any more than that. Although I am technically one of the boys and I have been invited. Because of course I've known the groom for about a month less than I've known my husband. So it's another one of them. It's such a close friend. He's like a little brother to me, although technically he's older than me. But yeah, so of course he's getting boobies, or a boobie given to him. Right. Beep! Right, you come back now, gang. Right, so now I'm going to tease you. I am a pattern tester for Reggie, so I am working on an upcoming pattern of hers. So I'm actually having a lot of fun with this because I haven't really done a lot of pattern testing for other creators. And of course, with the dyslexic brain of mine, it can sometimes get a bit confusing. But to be honest, this pattern's coming up lovely. The only downside to it is that I'm playing yarn chicken yet again. But I think I've worked it, and also when I was nearly complete, I put it on, it didn't fit, so I had to strip it back and redo. So, but I can't tell you any more than that. That's it. That's all I can tell you. The evil stripping back story. Right. So as you've possibly noticed, the top has now been finished. Now if you've been on the lives this week, you'll know pretty much all of the details on it, but for those of you that haven't worried about getting to the lives yet, you've decided to just jump straight to here first and possibly go to them later, expect to hear me talking about this top. Oh, and fighting with it. Right, so let's jump it over so you can have a closer look. There we go. Right, so the pattern is called the Mercedes. Okay, it's a pattern by our gorgeous Courtney at Fibre Fox Studios. Now this has been on my list for ages since she first put it out in April 2020. And so I've been holding on to it since then. But I finally did it, and I have made it using the Papaya Sunday cotton. Okay, this is a microfiber cotton. You get, here we go, 100 grams. Or 350 ounces. There is 320 meters or 350 yards. It's 100% microfiber acrylic. Now they recommend using a 3 to 4 millimeter hook on knitting needles and a 2 to 3 millimeter hook while crocheting. Okay, now the colorway I'm holding here is different to the one that I used in my top. If I remember the number, I'll stick it in the drop down box later. Alright, now this yarn is a lot thinner than what our gorgeous Courtney suggested using. She's got a brilliant write-up on this actually on the video, in the video drop down box, which explains that for the top she works hers up in a, or you can work it up in a 3 lightweight or a size 4 medium weight yarn of any kind. Now the top itself is designed to be loose fitting. Mine that isn't loose. And her video set is a 3-part set for this top, but to be honest it works out so beautifully easy. Right, Now for my personal top, the one that still doesn't fit me, I ended up having to follow the instructions for a 3X/4X. Now the sizes that Courtney has got on this, because she's done all the math for us technically, she's done all that math, and she goes from a small to medium all the way up to a 5X and a 6X. So of course my normal sizing is on the bigger size of a large, okay, so between a large and an extra large. So I watched my video and knew I had to do foundation chains. So I looked back in the description box to find that for my size I would have needed to do 11 foundation ovals. So I made these ovals up, joined them and started working, and did about 3 lots of repeats. I couldn't get the thing over me head, let alone over my bottom where that bit was meant to be, and I realised that was down to the size of the yarn and the hook that I was using, because at that point I was using the recommended hook for the yarn. So I just threw away the band of instructions and just went, let's see, I'm going up. So of course I went up to 4.5, which is 5 more than what I'm used to using. So I done that, but I also upped the foundation ovals as well to 13 ovals. To be honest, to make this baggy, for me, I should have done 15 ovals, but I only had 2 cakes, so I knew I was going to be playing yarn chicken, and to be honest, there wasn't a great deal left. There certainly wasn't enough left to do, say, another 2 rows on this pattern. So I'm happy I chose this. I've just got to get rid of the bread baby and it will fit lovely over a vest top. Right, so let's get into a bit more detail about the pattern. Now the pattern is worked from the bottom up, okay, and it is a 2-row repeat, gang. 2 rows, that's it. Now the only issue with it is that you're working with trebles, so if you've never worked with trebles before, don't panic. You will have sussed out how to do your trebles within your 2nd row. Honestly, trebles are just 1 extra bit. Okay, so really trebles are easy, and this is the first project I've ever done using trebles. Okay, so if I say it's easy and it's the first time I've ever done it, with all my amount my brain goes up in the air, you know that it's going to be alright and you're going to be able to do it too, and I believe you can. Okay, so as I said, it is trebles. It's a 2-row repeat. You start from the bottom, you work your way up, then you add in your shoulders, okay, and then you work down the other side. Yeah, and then you work down the other side. Then you just got to seam it up, and if you want to, there is also an extra section in the video set where you can add sleeves, and you can also choose the thickness of your strapping. Of course, you could go for 1 pattern repeat and make it a thinner strap, or like I've done, I've gone for a 2 repeat so that when I stick a vest top underneath it, it's not going to be on show, and I can use a thicker vest top because I've got my dodgy shoulder. So when I put it on, it does actually sit very much like this dress is sitting now on me. Sort of the top half, it's just, I've got a bit of an issue with the belly. And as normal, it's being held together at the back. So the little bit of extra material that's on this one is held on with a peg, right? So it makes it look extra nice. Cool. Let's pop that there. Stay there, you. Right. So there you go. That is the Mercedes top by our gorgeous Courtney at Fibre Fox Studios. So there is going to be a link up here to video number 1, and there will be a link in the drop down box to her channel and to video number 1. Now heaven knows she's got some absolutely stunning clothing patterns. They're quite lacy, so as long as you like open lace work, you're going to love the patterns there. And then she also does mosaic crochet. That's her thing at the moment. She's addicted to that. So she's got some absolutely stunning mosaic crochet patterns on the channel as well. So pop over and have a look. You'll be impressed. I am.